Hi Anna, this is Rebecca with your critique for your travel poster, and I'm really excited about this one. This is a new one that I've never seen Madagascar done before, and I was really excited when you told me that you chose this to be your subject. And you have some absolutely wonderful ideas here. I really love the figures. I love how you referenced the beach and the water um, and the palm tree. I think that this is a really great color combination and overall a good start to your composition. I love how this tree comes up on um, the third horizontal line, giving it a nice use of the rule of thirds. Your font use was great. It's a little elongated. I would have liked to seen it not so narrow, but the color is perfect up there and it helps to kind of balance out the color balance of the whole piece. Your figures are really wonderful. Notice how this arm here is an arc and how this arm is more geometric as far as they're rectangles. These arms are also outlined in white, and on this one in particular you can see the overlap here, which is not what an arm looks like generally. So, and you can see this overlap at the shoulder, whereas this arm does not have a stroke around it, and neither do the legs. So pay attention to your strokes. You have a stroke around the neck here and the torso and the head, whereas once again you don't have a stroke on this one arm and these two legs. So pay attention to that, please, in the future. I also noticed these white highlights here, but this one got lost and this one's kind of over to the left a little too far. So I'm not sure exactly what those are representing. I think they're representing like a spine and shoulder blades or ribs. I'm not sure. I hope I got that right, but it's not consecutive through the three figures. So yeah, pay attention to that as well. Over here on your tree, these white highlights, this one overlaps this figure, and I as far as perspective goes, it looks like this tree is more in the foreground. So should these figures be behind the tree leaves? And if they're all behind the tree leaves, then it needs to be consecutive through, all of them. The tree is, in the foreground here. So it seems like it should be the leaves should be in the foreground here. I love how the three figures are the same and how they're simple and they do represent people well. So don't change that part. Just change the details in there and figure out what you want to be in the foreground. Secondly, this tree does not need these thin black outlines around all of these objects here, especially since you don't carry that through in the leaves. So I prefer using a colored outline like you did or no outline at all. For your final portfolio, when you change things on these pieces, I recommend getting rid of the black outlines on this tree and in the coconuts there. Also, I would have liked to see the scene continue behind the tree as far as the sky goes. So if that means that you need to give a different color to the water, then so be it. If you need to use one less color in your tree leaves or somewhere along the lines to not pass your color maximum, then try to solve that in a better way. You don't necessarily need white in these leaves, so you could use the two green tones to solve that. If you wanted to, you could use this yellow throughout there as a highlight instead. So just make some considerations as far as that goes. Now over here you have a highlight on these coconuts up in the upper right corner, which tells us that the sun or the light source is coming from over here. But then we have a highlight down here, which tells us there's a light source coming from down here. And that's usually not the case when you're outside in nature. The sun is the most powerful light source, so coming from up here is correct for these coconuts, but this highlight then gets confusing. So as we continue forth with our Illustrator pieces, always make sure that your light source is consistent. The highlights and shadows are consistent throughout the entire piece. Other than that, you did a great job with color balance. You did a fantastic job with with composition. I love these figures down here. All this white in these figures pulls your eye back down to see them. This white between the water and the beach pulls our eye around here, and I just think it's fantastic. Also, one more thing, play with putting Madagascar in all caps and just see if you like it or not. If you don't like it, it's no problem. I just wanted to see, what you think about that. So keep up the great work, Anna. This is a fantastic start. And I love what you said about getting to use all the new tools that you learned. It makes me very excited. You're doing great. Thank you.